Jake Paul is set to finally do battle with Nate Diaz in the next few weeks, and has upped the trash talk with a hilarious impression of the UFC veteran. The YouTube boxer lost to bitter rival Tommy Fury in Saudi Arabia 5 months ago, and is looking to move on with a return to the winning column after suffering his first defeat. He will take on UFC veteran Diaz on August 5 in Dallas, with the Stockton native having left the UFC to make his boxing debut this summer. It will be an intriguing rivalry between the pair who have already come face to face and in trademark fashion. Paul has already begun pulling out the pranks. The problem child needs a win over next rival Diaz to rekindle his chances of making a success of his boxing career after a loss to British star Fury. It is an experience that Paul is familiar with. When facing an ex-UFC star in the boxing ring, given he has beaten Tyron Woodley twice and Ben Askren, any showdown could see the pair meet again irrespective of the result, given Paul plans to make his MMA debut and wants to make Diaz his first fight in the PFL. The pair have already began trading insults during a press conference, where Paul regularly vowed he would be the man to have his hand raised. Despite having more experience in the squared circle, Diaz has a wealth of striking skills he can call on, but it remains unclear how this will translate in a crossover event. A win for Paul could see him thrust into a redemption mission against TNT, or even a huge influencer showdown with long-term foe KSI once he himself faces Fury. Defeat could spell the end of his time in the boxing, which he declared himself may be the case, which could be an added incentive for Diaz. The American was originally known for his comedy content on video streaming service YouTube, where he initially rose to fame. This is a skill that he has regularly tried to use in the boxing ring, which appears to have worked, given some of his large pay-per-view audiences for fights. Paul has pulled some high-profile stunts throughout his career, including leaking Fury's baby name, buying a watch for Woodley, and making a bet with Fury's dad. In his launch press conference with Diaz, Paul decided to pull a clapping monkey from under the desk in what he believed was what was going on his rival's brain. But in his latest stunt during a live stream with Aiden Ross and Andrew Tate, Paul decided to do his best impression of the UFC great. He pulled on a hat backwards and pulled facial expressions to mimic his fellow American, before shouting, "What's up, F? Heads?" He then continues with a joint in his mouth, "I don't give a F, I heard you like Jake Paul." Paul then pulls Diaz's famous pose, before concluding, "I will Stockton slap the S out of you B." He then decides to go off screen and return to himself, with the pair in hysterics at his impression, which in fairness was pretty good.